Welcome to IHIP News. Welcome all of our new subscribers. IHIP News stands for I've Had It Podcast, which comes out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This is our opinion about the news that is important to us or that we feel like getting extremely petty about. And I'm feeling rather petty today, pumps. And so I'm getting great joy watching convicted felon Donald Trump and his MAGA sycophants flailing. I mean, they are in a free fall. They are so over their skis against the brilliant, quick-witted, sharp as a tack Harris campaign. So, of course, Trump cannot take a real interview from a real journalist. So he goes over to Psycho News, that's what I call Fox News, to get just a total soft serve interview. Let me play a little bit of it for you.
They're also attacking you for other ridiculous reasons. They're saying that you said to a crowd of Christians that they won't have to vote in the future.
Yeah, let me say what did I mean by that? I had a tremendous crowd speaking to Christians. This was a crowd that liked me a lot. I think I'm at 97% or something. And they're treated very badly by this administration, okay? Catholics are treated unbelievably. They're like persecuted. If you're Jewish and you vote for Biden or the Democrats or Kamala or whoever's going to run, I guess it's going to be her. But if you voted for her or the Democrats, you should have your head examined because nobody's ever been treated so badly by this. This administration is destroying Israel, et cetera, et cetera. So Christians are not known as a big voting group. They don't vote. And I'm explaining that to them. You never vote. This time, vote. I'll straighten out the country. You won't have to vote anymore. I won't need your vote. You can go back to not voting.
You don't have to vote for you because you have 4 years in office.
Look. Christians are known. You know who else doesn't vote? Gun owners don't vote.
But just to be clear, what you're saying, though, you're not saying
3 points right out of the gates that I want to make. Number one, this is what psychiatrists refer to as flight of ideas. Point number two, he says this administration is so mean to Catholics. The president of this administration is a Catholic that goes to church all the time, more than any president I've ever seen attend church in my lifetime is Joseph Robinette Biden. Point number three, that this administration is mean to Jewish people. Kamala Harris's husband is Jewish. He is such a liar. And furthermore, he did not even remotely satisfy nor answer the question that he wants that to be the last time that Christians vote. He believes it because he is fueled by a huge Christian nationalist dark money organization that have been planning this since the days before Reagan. They have been planning a Christian nationalist takeover, and they've been making progress and organizing, and they want to get rid of elections, democracy, the Department of Education, women's rights. And if you get just outside of the mainstream media and read about these organizations, which Trump is beholden to, they are loud about what their intentions are. And how they get so many voters is through these evangelical churches. They coordinate with evangelical preachers to message that there are two options in the world. It's a binary choice, good versus evil. And these people believe that Donald Trump is good and that the Democrats are evil. It is a very Neanderthal, caveman point of view by a very Neanderthal man with a caveman intellect. So that's why it's messaging so well to that segment of the country, and the rest of us are just left with our mouths aghast because it's like, do you guys believe this? Well, he looks like an evangelical preacher. He sounds like an evangelical preacher. He grifts like an evangelical preacher. And what about the way he says, I love the Christians, the way he says Christians?
It's so gross for so many reasons, but one of the primary ones is he's not even religious. He doesn't give a fuck about Christianity or its values. He wants to manipulate Christians who are easily manipulated because of his hellfire and brimstone type message. But what kills me is that I don't know if you remember, but when he said, I'm going to be a dictator on day one, like people were like, what? A candidate for president is saying they want to be a dictator? Sean Hannity tried to force feed him back from that comment. He couldn't do it.
Yeah.
He would not allow it. Laura Ingraham is trying to backpedal him on his elections never being required again. He can't do it because he wants to be a dictator. He has chosen someone that is young enough that his vice presidential candidate, after he dies, God willing, at some point in our lifetime, that he could be a dictator for decades. So this person is dangerous. His rhetoric is dangerous. And nobody gets out and votes like the gun owners and the Christians. So that's just another in the many lies.
All right, let's see what else.
To women out there watching who may not have kids.
I think they understand it. No, I think they understand it. The Democrats are good at spinning things differently from what they were. All he said is he does like, I mean, for him, he likes family. I think a lot of people like family, and sometimes it doesn't work out. And you know why? You don't meet the right person, or you don't meet any person, but you're just as good, in many cases a lot better than a person that's in a family situation.
Okay, my favorite part about this is that he said, I think he really likes family.
Right.
He doesn't identify with the statement at all, and it's so obvious. He's like, I think a lot of people like family. It's like me saying, I think a lot of people like to go to church on Sunday. I don't. I'm
so divorced from it.
I'm not going to give my money to some mega church. That's exactly what he sounds like. And they never pick up on it. They never pick up on that he says, I think a lot of people like family. Some people don't find the right people, which he's kind of like talking about himself.
Right.
Like, Ivana kind of sucked. And then I had Marla, Melania hates my guts. Stormy was a great lay for one night, but whatevs. Some people really like family. I'm not into it, but whatevs. What a nut.
You know what really irritates me about this whole family childless cat lady thing? If Kamala Harris had 5 kids with 3 baby daddies, we just found out that she'd been banging it out with a porn star, had an affair with a Playgirl model, the Christian right would be on their knees lighting fires because they were so disturbed. This guy who has has no morals, no ethics, no character. They're fucking all in. Like, he's a family guy.
It's the hypocrisy is jaw-dropping. But here's some of my favorite stuff on the internet right now. And if you get to the people who are like driving all of the MAGA stuff, I want you to watch this clip and watch this absolute flail by this guy.
And when I talk about Taylor Swift, I say it's so obvious to me. She's the perfect vehicle to go to those low propensity white liberal women to say, I need you to come out. I need you to come out for what? What'll be the issue? It'll be abortion. I hope you're right, but unfortunately, I have to live in the world of what's what potential threats could be out there, and the indicators and warnings right now are going off the charts. That of course she came out as a Democrat in 2020. She attacked Marsha Blackburn in 2018.
What about we got our Taylor Swift indicators and warnings, and they are off the chart. Over here at the Turning Point headquarters, we're getting major radar pings that liberal women want to vote to have autonomy over their bodies. Right. What a dipshit. What a complete moron. They are such wussies that they are terrified of Taylor Swift. They are terrified to show women that you can be whatever you want to be in this country. You can breed if you want to, or you cannot breed. You can be a pop star. You can travel the world and make billions of dollars and contribute massively to the economy, or you can be a housewife should you choose to do that. They do not want, at the central message of all of this is, let's hold up the patriarchy.
Absolutely.
All this crap they say where Donald Trump says, J.D. Vance, I don't get it. He really likes family. And this guy, the radar's totally out of whack. We're getting all these pings on Taylor Swift. Please, wah. Women have made decades of progress in this country, and we are not about to hand it to these wacko Christian nationalists. And here's one thing that I want to say. Sometimes in the comments section, people will say to me, those aren't real Christians. We're real Christians. And here's what I have to say. The call is going on all inside your house. This is a Christian problem, and it needs to have a Christian solution. I'm a secular atheist. I had one time a woman here in Oklahoma City say to me, Joe Biden just isn't a good Catholic. I go, well, why is Joe Biden a bad Catholic? Well, the abortion issue. And I go, well, what do you think about the tens of thousands of priests that raped kids in the church? Are they good Catholics or are they bad Catholics? So within all the religion, you've got people pointing out real Christians and fake Christians, real Catholics and fake Catholics. I'm not interested in any of that because when it comes to speaking about politics, I believe firmly in the separation of church and state. If you're a religious person, that's your mess to clean out. The onus is not on me, a podcaster, to decipher who's a good Catholic and who's a bad Catholic. This is in the same vein of what Donald Trump does when he calls Mitt Romney a rhino. I'm not getting involved in any of that. For the purposes of this conversation, Christian nationalists and Christians have organized for decades to uphold the patriarchy. And it is a uniquely Christian problem for Christians to fix. If Christians, the quote, real ones, are upset about the Christian nationalists, then organize all the quote, real Christian leaders to have a super PAC and flood the airwaves and create podcasts and save your religion. But Jennifer Welch, the secular podcaster, it's not my business to define who's real and who's not, because when I read the Bible, when I've read it, and the reason it doesn't appeal to me is there is a lot of authoritarian bullshit in there that these Christian nationalists are clinging on to. So it's not my mess to clean up. That's your all's. And I agree that there are some people who believe in social justice and they believe in equity and they believe in liberty and their faith guides them to do that. But I also believe that there are a lot of people, a lot of them, who are certain that I am going to sit, and so are my children and my pets and my husband and you and everybody that works on this podcast and listen to this podcast, are going to consciously burn in hell forever. I don't engage in magical thinking. I think magical thinking has no business in the political discourse. We are a secular nation, and that's what I'm fighting for. The problem is coming from inside the house. The calls are coming from within Christianity. That's your fucking mess to clean, because all the Christians are coming out here, like he said, they support me, they love me, 97%. This is your fucking problem to clean up, not the podcasters. Stick with us for more hot takes.
It's so